We're looking at pathfinding service, and that is a service used to make paths that can be followed. So the terms you need to know are an agent, waypoints, and destination. So the agent is the thing that wants to go on the path, so let's say the person over there. The waypoints is a list of positions they need to go to, a list of things they need to do. So it's like those red dots there. And then the destination is the vector free the target needs to reach. So the reasons why you'd want to use something like this, let's say you want to give the player a path of coins to follow, you could use the waypoints and put coins there while they're trying to reach a certain destination. If it's like a zombie or an enemy NPC, it would constantly have a path to be able to get to the nearest player. And then you could have stuff like GPS systems, but you don't really use it for that. So it's basically just for NPCs. The first step is the required variables that you need. So we're going to get Bob, so that character you saw in the other picture, and we're going to get the destination, and then we're going to get the position we want to get to, and we also need pathfinding service. We then need to make agent parameters. So remember, the agent is the thing that's moving, and we need to tell pathfinding service certain things about that. And the things that we need to tell it are the radius and the height. So how wide is it, how tall is it, so it knows what gaps it can fit through. All of these, you don't have to give it any, and the defaults are here. But for this example, we're going to do agent radius of 4.5 and a height of 6. And they can jump, and we don't want them to climb. But yeah, you don't have to give it any of that. The next step is to create or compute the path. So you make the path by doing pathfinding service, create path, and then you put in the parameters there, so that table that we made. And then the path is empty at the moment, so you need to compute it to fill in the waypoints. So you do the path compute async, and you have to give it the position to start at, which is Bob's primary part's position, and then the destination one, and that's the part of gold that we just saw. So yeah, that's the start, that's the end. So pathfinding service will then work out the way, but there might not be one. So we can, with the path, we can do path.status, and that's either going to be pathstatus.nopath if we can't get there, or pathstatus.success. So this kind of thing where we can print Bob is ready and we can make them walk, or we can say they're forced to stay. We can just like skip this one. So after we've done that, we need to get a list of waypoints and we need to follow them. And we're going to look at that next. Any questions so far? So to get a list of waypoints, all you have to do is the path and then the get waypoints method, and that's going to return a list or an array of waypoints. So we can loop through it with a for loop for underscore waypoint in the waypoints list, and we're just going to print out each waypoint. This waypoint class, or this waypoint object, it has dot position, which is where is it, so where's the red dot, and we also have action, so what should we do here? You basically don't use this a lot, but if it's like a complex CI you would. The two possibilities are waypoint action jump if we need to jump here, and waypoint action walk if we need to walk here. So if we just open up this, I'm going to turn example 0 on, and all it does is it does what we just looked at, and then for every waypoint it puts a dot on the map. So I'm going to run that, and you're going to see Bob has waypoints here, 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 and then jump there. It's picked a bit of a weird one, but it always works out. And then it ends there, and then the next waypoint will be where we need to get to. Do you mean like interject waypoints to add a different goal? Yeah, so in the tower defense genre, because you already have a map, you wouldn't be using pathfinding service. You just have a list of parts. You'd probably literally just put the parts out and leave them there, and then you'd write a script that converts it into a list of vector frees. But if you did want to for some reason, then you would have a list of goals of that goal there, and you would pathfind to that and then add it to the pathfind over there. But you wouldn't, you can't like have custom ones any other way. Any other questions so far? Okay, so yeah, that is what every waypoint looks like. So instead of printing the waypoint, we're going to actually travel to it and we're going to complete the action. So the way we're going to do that, same as before, if the path status is a success, then get the list of waypoints, and for every waypoint, we're going to say if the action was jump, then jump, and then we're going to move to the position it wants to get to. So Bob the NPC, and then humanoid move to. So with every character, both default characters and NPCs, they all have humanoids, and the move to method basically makes them walk to this point. It doesn't wait though, so it would just move on and start going to the next one. So we use the move to finished event, and instead of connecting, we just wait here for that to execute. So it's going to move there, and it's going to wait until it gets there before it goes back up and it goes to the next one. And that is basically everything. So if we get that script and enable it, turn the old one off, give it a run. then you can see Bob goes on his way, and he'll follow the same path as last time. I stopped it halfway, and I turned off the scripts that made them. And they're two scripts, so they shouldn't be exactly the same, but you'll see he basically follows the same path because it's going to generate the same path, and it'll go all the way around. So yeah, we've made an agent, we've made a path, and we follow the path. The thing we're going to look at in the next workshop is having Bob chase a moving target. We're just going to look at that a little bit because it was meant to be in this one before it got too complicated. So if we wanted to do that, then we would start out the same way as before. We'd get the variables we need, we get the agent parameters, and we would need a find target function. Eventually we're going to have like a super NPC, we're going to use OOP with it, but for now we've just basically found the first character that's alive, and we've set that back. And we can't do it the exact same way as before. So if we say get the target, if there's no target, skip, and then get the path, if it was a success, sorry, if it was an error, then skip it. We can't just do the obvious thing here where we loop through the waypoints, because what would happen is it would come down here, get target, so it picks that one, and then make a path, so it's got the path, and then it starts a loop, and it starts moving towards it, but if the target moves, then it's still stuck in that loop. So that's where the complicated bit comes. That's what we're going to look at next time, mainly because we can't put this into this time. But any questions on any of the stuff that we've looked at here? Oh, sorry, I need to actually start the script. So if I turn those off, turn this new one on, then press play here. This character here is the kind of thing you're talking about, which we'll look at next time. He's constantly waypathing to me. There's no animations. That would fix most of the jittering. The reason he gets stuck is because he thinks he can make that jump, so he's still trying to make it for him to recalculate. It's just that one wedge. I need to raise his height. You could. That would definitely be interesting. You probably would, yeah. You wouldn't get ChatGPT to control movement, but maybe like a random speech generator depending on the distance and stuff.